Hello, and welcome to the DCIFF Film Chat Podcast. I'm Erin DeVos, and I'll be your host for this season. Join us for insightful interviews that explore the work of up-and-coming independent filmmakers from all over the world. If you're passionate about film and keen to learning about the creative process from the future cinema greats, this podcast is a must-listen for you. Our mission is to provide listeners with the engaging and informative conversations about successful and innovative films, including features, shorts, documentaries, animation, and web series from across the globe. The DCIFF Film Chat Podcast is a unique opportunity for independent filmmakers to have their voices heard in a way no other film festival can provide. You can listen to the DCIFF Film Chat Podcast on all podcast platforms or visit our website at DCIFF-indie.org/DCIFF-podcast. Thank you. Hello, DCFF Film Chat fans. It's your host, Erin DeVos, here for another episode. In this conversation, I am speaking with the Ricci brothers, Francesco and Neri, who are the filmmakers and creators of The Golden Shopping Cart. I had the pleasure of meeting Neri at the DCIFF 2024 and Francesco for the first time during our podcast interview. This was a really engaging conversation between the two brothers who are also filmmakers, talking about reflecting on their film, the creative process, and as well as even reflecting how they came to DCIFF 10 years ago and their love and appreciation for the film community. Without further ado, let's dive in. Thank you both so much for joining me on the DCIFF Film Chat podcast. We're chatting just about a week or so after the film festival. So excited to share our thoughts about what happened at the film festival and then also about your nominated film today. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Hi, thank you very much.
Of course. And if you don't mind, if both of you share a little bit about yourselves and your nominated film.
You start. Well, this project took lots of time to get produced. So we wrote about 5 stories, and in the end we chose the most hard one to be an independent movie produced in Italy, because sci-fi here is not really popular, let's say. Then, once we ended editing, my brother took care of all the, sending the movie to festivals around the world. So we went through Europe first, went at a sci-fi festival in Menton, and then, all over Europe, Greece, Italy, in Milan. We won the Milano Short Film Festival. And then we started sending it to the USA. So Neri, as you know, came to your festival in DC, Washington, and we were happy to screen it there. So more people from all over the world see it, and better it is. So also, if we didn't win the prize this year, as we did 10 years ago, we're still very happy that it was screened. Neri, what do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Francesco. As he said, we're happy that the movie was screened, because obviously for independent filmmakers, the first objective is that the movie is seen by the most people possible. So it doesn't really matter if you win prizes or not. Even if it's one person a day, it's still a little victory to us. And that's literally what I was doing at the DCIFF. I was stopping people who were walking into another cinema. I was pulling them into our theater. I was like, go watch my movie. But it was fun. And the cinema was amazing. The screen was huge and it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I love being able, and that's one thing I love about DCIFF, is being able to just see, all these independent films on the big screen, and to be able to just have these types of conversations. And I know, Neri, you had a Q&A session at the end of both of your films. And so it was really cool to be able to talk and expand on that as well. And for those who aren't familiar with the Golden Shopping Arcade, do you mind sharing a little bit about it or the plot?
Yeah, I think it's an M to liberty. That's how I would sum it up. It's the story of a guy who's basically tired of his job, of taking care of his mom, and of not having a girlfriend. And one day he hears two guys at work talking about this secret forbidden website, and he decides to go visit it, and he buys a robot clone of himself, and which basically he uses to take over his life and to do all the stuff that he no longer wants to do. And then you have to see the movie to to see what actually happens with the clone. The idea was, as Skino said, the initial idea was to make a feature movie. So we started shooting it as the beginning of the movie. So it's basically the first 30 minutes of a feature movie. And then obviously the COVID pandemic hit. So we edited all the material we shot before COVID. We edited, like, screening. Francesco was sharing his screen from his house. I was watching his screen, and then we did a bit of that. And then after the pandemic, we went to an editor. And by the time we were finished, I guess we were kind of sick of the whole process. So we kind of took a break from the movie. And then we decided to make.
I think the real challenge for us was not the writing or the directing, but the production part. Because when you deal with a budget and it's really tight, you really have to be, good at asking favors to people, for locations. Also knowing the actors, also as a friend, you can't, expect too much from them because everyone has to work. So we couldn't get too much of their time, but still we brought it home. So we were really excited to complete this journey. Giving an end to this short movie, which initially had to be, as my brother said, a feature film, so at least 100 minutes movie length. But yeah, still we cut it in a way that they had an end. I think we are gonna move on to some new projects now. Unless someone contacted us and they're interested in producing the Golden Shopping Arcade with a bigger budget, we would be happy to do it, obviously. But yeah, let's see what happens. For now, we're just going through festivals, and we should to as many people as possible.
Yeah, no, I think that's such a great strategy, and for you guys to be able to expand on this for, a long period of time. And you mentioned that you were filming like during the pandemic. What did this take like a few years to produce? Do you want to talk about the creative process?
Yeah, I mean, basically, as I told you, it was like when you say independent in the States, I think it's different from when you say it in Europe, because we were really, really, really tight with the budget. So we spent 15K to produce actually the whole movie. So we had lots of actors, lots of locations, director of photography, all the equipment, all the roles that you need. So, but often people got maybe other jobs, other gigs, so they dropped us. We had to find someone else. So it was really a learning process, and we learned also by many mistakes we did, but we reshot many scenes of the clone getting out of the box because we wanted to be, perfect. And also, shooting all the point of view of the clone when the main character sees the point of view of the clone in the computer from his house. That was really hard to do because you have to shoot the point of view of the clone looking at the person. Yeah. Then you have to put it in the computer, put the actor there. Then you have to actually shoot the scene of the clone there in the location. So I think we were good, but we were also lucky in certain cases.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And would you have, which kind of reminds me or thinks of me to ask, like, would you ever consider having a clone of your own?
Yeah, I need more than one.
More than one. I feel that, especially with all the different things we have to do.
So I can create my team built by myself, replicated forever.
There you go.
Just kidding. It's important to have the energy over the few, and also, fight and argue, and, you have to go through it. It's an everyday fight. Also, I think it's when you see a movie, it's very artistic, but all the work that is behind it is very dirty in a way. Pass me the word, so you really have to deal with many problems that come up at the last moment, day by day, and you never have to give up, basically, with your mind.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we weren't lucky because when we started shooting the movie, because the idea was we're gonna start it with our budget. If we find the money to produce it, we're gonna reshoot everything on bigger budget. If we don't find the money, we're just gonna finish it the same way. So we chose as locations Skino's Francesco's studio at the time. We chose the hospital was like this abandoned former industry. I don't know what they were making, like medicines there. And our aunt's apartment, which was at the time was empty for the main actor's mother's house. And then after the pandemic, Skino lost the studio because obviously of the economical crisis. Our aunt also lost her house, so basically we lost all the locations that we thought were secured to finish the movie. So that's another reason we probably would never be able to finish it anyway, even if we wanted to.
hmm Yeah. No, I mean, like the fact that there's so many different, layers and aspects to it. And as Francesco was saying, like about, the fact of being able, or the example that you gave of like being able to like shoot the clone or, the person, then put it in the computer. And then like there's so many layers to it. So I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and I mean, we obviously didn't have all the roles, working on. We have to take care kind of everything, also from, I mean, everyone did their job, but still we basically went to the shop to choose the coats of the punks that, attack him on the street, or we had to, you know, choose the makeup, we had to get into also the scenography, the logo. We had to, Neri physically stuck all the posters on the walls
Oh, wow.
on the street when he gets attacked. Just to tell you that in the end, we were just the director and the screenwriter, but we basically did everything with the help of people. But we had to really get into each sector of the production and, do at least 50% of the job
Yeah.
of each one of them. So that was really the.
And we had like 4 or 5 different makeup artists because each time we found one, she either got another job or one got run over by a car with fake
Oh no.
coming back from set.
Or the director of photography dropped us for a Gucci campaign, so the electrician guy did the lights that day, for example.
Oh wow.
Many crazy things happened, but we went for it. The main actor cut his hair, and we had to shoot a scene that was exactly a second after when he had longer hair. But in the end, you don't notice with the editing. So yeah, there's lots of little things that when you have a big budget, you don't have to think about as a director.
hmm
And in the end, choosing the frame where to put the actors, position them, was the last thing, which was almost the easiest compared to all the energy we had to put in the rest. So basically, I think I learned that on my next project, I'm not going to do production and directing together because then you don't have the time to have all that creativity to choose, to make, weird angles, or you don't have the time. You have to, it's too much work for one person, let's say, if it's an indie movie. So next time I'll do either production or direct.
hmm Yeah, it was gonna be one of my questions too. It sounds like the both of you and your crew too had to wear multiple hats, and I was gonna ask like which would be your favorite hat that you wanted to wear. So it sounds like it's more of like the directing side, or
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Neri feel like one, I mean, in the end, he signed as a screenwriter and I signed as a director, but it's a Ricci Brothers movie.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the important is that we grew up watching movies, so we're so passionate about it. All the work we do that is not cinematography, it's just to, you know, get time and plan the next movie we want to make. So it took us a little while to do the second one because almost 10 years passed by.
Mhm.
But yeah, we will see. We will see what happens.
Yeah. Um, no, that's exciting to be able that you're working on the next project. Is that I think you mentioned that you if Golden Shopping Arcade like was to like move forward to create that into a bigger feature, what other projects are you working on? Is it more sci-fi related?
It's related to voodoo.
Oh, voodoo. Oh, wow. So kind of like a horror thriller type of vibe, or?
Maybe Neri can say something more about it.
No, the thing is, as Francesco said, we threw down like 5 short stories to develop, and we picked Golden Shopping Arcade in the end. I think I'm more attracted to like sci-fi, horror, fantasy movies. Kino is more, I think, also because he's a photographer and he mostly does fashion and portraits.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably more attracted to like dramatic, more artistic movies. So the idea for me would be to mix the two things and get a really cool looking trailer, like stylish trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But as he said, like usually those films are super expensive to shoot. So it's easier to just shoot like a drama with a Gus Van Sant camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a fight about that. Like I'm going to push one side, he's going to push in the other, and then in the end, it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle, I'm guessing.
Yeah. No, that's so cool to be able to both of you have such like contrasting ideas, but they really mesh well together. And is this your first film that you both have worked on together, or?
No, we have another short which won the
Oh, sorry,
DCIFF
that's what I
in
meant.
2014.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the director at the time, which I think was already Deirdre, at the time she told us we should have made a feature because it had all the ingredients, all the right ingredients to make to make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what happened. What I was saying before, we started discussing whether we should do something new or retake the project and try to develop it. And in the end, I don't know how 10 years passed, and well, it was actually 7, but then there was a pandemic. So next time we're gonna try to move quick.
Pandemic is always the excuse.
Yeah.
Really put a stint on things. I feel that. Oh.
But life is all about it. So, and also we are very independent because we don't want to maybe deal with bureaucracy, which is maybe our biggest mistake. But yeah, we write like if we have unlimited budget, and then after we deal with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like a brain dump, like put everything out there on the table and then see what you can work with in that way.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that, and I like how our conversation is going, and how we've talked a lot about your creative process and also both of your thoughts on the different types of genres that you're working on, and to expand a little bit more into that, and knowing both of you have been working on films for quite some time now, how do you feel the industry has shifted over recent years, whether it's like the past like 10 years since you last worked on that film together, or how do you see the evolution of it going forward?
Of the cinematography in general, or
Yeah, it could be cinematography or in the film industry itself.
well, I think the new platforms obviously completely changed the way of producing and consuming cinema in general. Also series, because I consider the new all the series you can see on Netflix, Amazon, or whatever are cinema in the end. And I don't know, I think also it's very consumable very quickly, that kind of production. Also, if maybe they have bigger budget than us, because as I said, we always worked as indie directors and producers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean it's evolving. It's evolving, and I mean it's the idea is to grow. That's the plan. We have to grow, and we have to we're aiming to do a feature film, which we never did.
Yeah, and to me, like the fact that now there's all these platforms that need content, like they're literally looking for content because they're basically like fighting with each other to always be like competitive, especially in Italy where the Italian movie industry is very huge. There's like 3 or 4 actors that you see in every single movie. There's not a real star system, so you don't really see many movies, especially like sci-fi or genre. It's mostly like comedies who are trying to copy the French style cinema, like those romantic comedies. To me, like, this is a huge opportunity now, because obviously you're starting to have a lot of genre movies, a lot of crime, especially from Italy. Like, it's mostly like crime movies about mafia or gangs, stuff like that. So to me, I feel like this is a good moment to try to make a trailer or something like that. But yeah, as I said, I have to convince my brother and find the money.
That's really great to be able to have that optimism and always like think of what is next. So this has been awesome, and I'm so glad that you guys were able to join me today. Was there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to share on the podcast?
I don't think so.
I know we covered a range of topics, so cool.
On my side, I'd just like to thank again everyone in Washington, you, of course, and Deirdre, Maria, and everyone I met. And I hope we can come back again, like sooner than last time. And I just wish everyone good luck, and all the filmmakers I met who were really cool, and it was great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hope we stay in touch and continue to follow your journeys as well. And I hope it's sooner than 10 years too that I'll be seeing you too. And so that also reminds me to ask, how can we find and follow you on your journey?
Instagram page, which is Golden Shopping Arcade. And then we both have our own personal pages on Instagram, I guess, for now.
Yeah, my name on Instagram is Skino Ricci, Skino Ricci, which is the brother of Francesco Skino. My brother Neri, I don't think he's public anyway, so.
Not much to see.
and you can see some of my photography too, as Neri told, I'm a photographer. So.
Oh, Quinta Studio, that's the production, right? QuintaStudio.com.
We also have a production page, which is Quinta Studio, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll certainly put this in the show notes too, so everyone can follow along and be able to check that out.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Awesome. Great.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, thank you both. This podcast is brought to you by the DCIFF supporters. We could not be here without all of you to be sharing this amazing outlet with filmmakers from around the world. If you are interested in supporting DCIFF, head on over to our website through the link description in the bio of this episode, or you can go right to the website, which is DCIFF-indie.org. to connect with us and learn more about our Future of Film programs, our festival, and also more educational opportunities in what we do with our high school students, community, and beyond. We look forward to your support.